Morning, guys. Today we're talking about Part 6, Inferential Reading Comprehension. So what is this test about? This test is about the understanding of what the text means. So you are going to find 5 questions, inferential questions, and there are 4 options for each question. So what you need to understand is that the questions and answers are not expressed in the same way they were expressed in the text. So they use other words and maybe another way to express that. So you need to make connections and you need to understand the general idea of the text. So I'm going to explain very quickly what you are meant to do in these kind of exercises. So before explaining that, I have to tell you that this part and the last part, part 7, are the most difficult ones in the text, but are really the ones that you need to answer correctly because they show the ICFES what level are you. I mean, everybody could be able to answer part 1, part 2, because they are meant for basic levels. But these parts are meant for highest levels of English. So if you answer correctly part 6 and part 7, you are going to get good results. You are going to get like A2 or B1 in your ICFES because these are the ones that show your real understanding and like more difficult understanding of English, okay? Well, first thing you need to do, you need to read the title. The title tells you normally the general idea of the text. So with the title, you can get an idea of what the text is going to be about. So Paris Underground. So I would say, well, it's something about Paris, of course, the city, but it's underground. So it could be a subway or could be something that is under the city. Okay? Well, so what I do next is to look for the general idea. How do I look for the general idea? I'm going to read the text very quickly without any details, and taking into account the title, I'm going to look for that. What is that about Paris Underground? I mean, if the title is Paris Underground, what is that they want to talk about Paris Underground? So you read very quickly, the great avenues are quiet and the shops are closed. There is a smell of fresh bread from a bakery somewhere. Early morning is probably my favorite time of the day in Paris. Soon the streets will be full of people and traffic. Like most of the other cities, you see the real Paris when the city wakes up. So far, we haven't found anything about underground. So that's not the main idea. So then, there is, however, another part of Paris which is usually silent and free from crowds of people. Under the city, here, I can find something that is related to the title. Under the city are hundreds of kilometers of tunnels. There are sewers, old subways and canals which Parisians have transformed into nightclubs and galleries. Then, since the 1970s, groups of young people have been spending days and nights below the city in these tunnels. It is a place where Paris, theater performances, art galleries, anything goes here. So, very quickly, I'm not understanding the details. What I want to highlight is the general idea, which is this one, and I know because it is about what Paris has underground. Okay, so hundreds of kilometers of tunnels that are used by Parisians, and there are nightclubs and galleries there. Okay, and they are not used for the subway any longer. Okay. Well, that's the general idea. You have in your mind title, general idea. So the next step is to read the questions and the options. Okay, very quickly you are going to read the questions and the options. Lea las preguntas y opciones de respuesta antes de leer el texto. That's very important because you are going to have the idea of what you need to find in the text. So you have the questions in your mind. Okay? Well, then you start going one by one and you start looking for that information in the text. Okay? So, example, the author implies that. Okay? So, the author implies that, como quiere decir que, well, the nights in Paris are full of mysteries. So I look for that idea very quickly in the text, but he's not talking about that. The stores are closed in the afternoon. No, he said that the stores are closed, but in the morning, right? So that might be true, but it's not in the text. What if ICFES want you to know or answer is about the text. The real Paris is underground. Well, yes, that's true, but it's not the idea of the text. He's not saying that the real Paris is there. He says in the text for some people, okay? But this one, he prefers Paris at dawn, is in the text, okay? Dawn means amanecer. So if we go to the text, he says that early morning is probably my favorite time of the day in Paris. Okay, so that's in the text. That's what you have to do with each one of the questions. You need to identify which ones are the opposite, which ones are false, which ones are not in the text, and you start discarding those options that are not there. And then you keep analyzing the ones that are actually in the text, okay? Remember that you have 10 minutes for this section, so it's not that easy, but you can make it, okay? Well, so after you do all that, you answer, you pick one of the questions, okay? Well, it is very important that you establish the purpose of the text. Siempre debemos tener en nuestra mente para qué es el texto, porque muy probablemente nos van a preguntar qué propósito tiene la lectura. Comunicar algo, convencer, argumentar, describir, narrar. What is the purpose? Okay? You have to use your own words to make logical deductions. So you can write something that is in another way in the text. So in this time, you're not going to write anything, but in your mind, you are going to try to understand ideas with your own words while you're reading. So you need to identify the intention, the purpose of the author in the text, and his or her point of view. ¿Ok? Entonces, identificar la intención que tiene el autor con ese texto y el punto de vista, ¿cierto? Ahora, muy importante, hay que responder de acuerdo a lo que está argumentado en el texto, no lo que yo crea. Muchos estudiantes cometen ese error. Responden de acuerdo a lo que ustedes creen sobre algún tema y esto pues es un error grave porque me están preguntando es el autor. Todo lo que me preguntan está relacionado directamente con la lectura. No mi punto de vista, no mi opinión, no, nada de eso me va a salir en el libro. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is, well, in the ICFES there are going to be usually some questions like these ones. Infer, or some words that are in the questions. Infer, support, imply, suggest, mean, conclude, deduce. So what I want you to know is the meaning of those words, because they are usually in the questions. For example, you're going to see a question like, you can infer, puedes inferir, ¿listo? Pero también muchas veces están presentadas en la voz pasiva. Y, por ejemplo, it is inferred from the text that. Se infiere, es inferido del texto que, ¿listo? Entonces, es importante que ustedes sepan el significado de estas palabras, los va a ayudar mucho porque si yo no entiendo la pregunta, pues no voy a poder responder. Entonces, estas palabras que yo les estoy presentando son muy importantes y que las tengamos súper claras cuando vayamos a presentar el examen. Entonces, pueden ser utilizadas en voz activa. Por ejemplo, la pregunta, this idea supports this. Esta idea, perdón, apoya esta otra, ¿sí? Digamos. Entonces, también se puede presentar así, o sea, también la vamos a poder encontrar en el ICFES como it is supported by the author, example, that, ¿listo? es apoyado por el autor que, o the author supports that, ¿sí? Apoyar. Imply, implicar, ¿listo? Entonces, it is implied. O, bueno, también significa como es, bueno, vamos a buscar exactamente el significado, porque puede ser implicar, puede ser, se puede decir que, ¿listo? Entonces voy a buscarla exactamente aquí, lo que significa en español para que no tengamos ningún inconveniente. Entonces, está la palabra imply, and the meaning of imply es insinuar, ¿listo? Implicar, querer decir, ¿listo? Lo que les había dicho antes, solo que acá pues tengo otros sinónimos para que entendamos mejor. Significa, supone. Listo, entonces, de acuerdo a esto, it is implied, ¿cierto? Es insinuado, se implica, está implicado, quiere decir. Vamos a encontrar este verbo, ¿listo? Suggest, sugerir. Podemos encontrar it is suggested, sugerir, ¿listo? Mean, significar. Recuerden que también puede aparecer en voz pasiva, so podemos ver it is meant, con T as meant. Conclude, concluir, it is concluded, o sea, pueden presentarme la pregunta en alguna de las dos formas. Y that use. Pueden haber otras palabras, pero estas son como las que más se usan en este tipo de pregunta. Okay, so they are very used in this kind of questions. Very frequently used. Well, so my recommendation, guys, my last recommendation. We are not going to have enough time to do a lot of activities in class because time is, year is almost over. So what I am going to recommend to you is use the links that I'm publishing in Classroom, okay? Please, let me see if I can do it right now, but I'm gonna publish a link where you're going to find different readings. So the only way to learn to read is by reading, okay? So my recommendation is to read one text every day. So this website is gonna be in the Classroom. And you choose one text, for example, and please, you need to look for level 3, level 2. Level 1 is too basic. So, once you have your level 2 or level 3 text, you are going to find, well, a text actually, and at the end, there are going to be 2 exercises. One exercise is going to be multiple choice. So this is very important for part 6. And also fill in the gap or gap filling. So do that exercise as well because gap filling is like similar to part 7 in the ICFES. So you choose intermediate or upper intermediate. Don't choose elementary, okay? So you choose intermediate. As you can see, there are a lot of text. You choose the one you prefer, and as I told you, you can see that there are exercises, multiple choice and fill in the gap exercises, so practice with all of them. So that's it. I hope this tutorial is helpful for you, and I really hope that you take advantage of your time and practice by yourself. Next week there is going to be a mock exam, un simulacro. Next week, que está planeado un simulacro de inglés que está planeado para 1 hora, que va a ser el viernes 30 a las 11 de la mañana. ¿Okay? Entonces es importante que asistamos. Es una prueba para ver cómo estamos en este momento para nuestra prueba final del ICFES. Muchas gracias por su atención. Bye.